This is Motoring Today, the Philippines' premier and longest-running weekly motoring news and features TV and online magazine. I'm Wee Gamboa.
And I'm Tin Gamboa. Here are this week's features to watch out for.
On Motoring Forum, we shall discuss about the modernization of traditional jeepneys. Our road safety reminder on the Young Street Smarts portion centers on what to do when one encounters a solid white center line. This week's Spying Chaper shall be the impropriety of playing loud music in PUVs. Showcase this week shall have a hatchback from Honda, the New City. While for race weekend, we shall have the highlights of the 2024 General Petroleum Gymkhana Philippines third practice.
All these plus the latest news in transportation and traffic management, as well as developments in the automotive industry, are on this week's episode of Motoring Today. Join us.
I've been coming up hot for a minute. Everybody know the drop when I'm in it. Yeah, I go so yo. Everybody know I'm Europe know when they click through. Try to send this box to be a show, be fun. I've been coming up hot for a minute.
Welcome back to Motoring Today. Here now are the latest news and developments in the country's transportation and traffic management. Heading into the final deadline of consolidation, April 30, 2024 to be exact, the LTFRB appeared adamant about canceling the franchises of PUVs that have not joined cooperatives or corporations. It turns out adamant may not be the word to describe the LTFRB with regards to consolidation.
The Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board has issued a resolution allowing unconsolidated GP and UV Express units to operate in over 2,500 routes, described as having a low number of authorized units or NAUs. Under LTFRB Board Resolution Number 53 Series of 2024, individual operators of PUJ and UVE units will be allowed to continue operating without need for filing an application for consolidation in certain routes. According to the resolution dated April 30, 2024, the supposed deadline for PUVs to consolidate, this is meant to ensure the supply of public transportation in routes with a low number of NAUs. However, the LTFRB said that this is still subject to the eventual approval of the Local Public Transportation Route Plan or the Route Rationalization Plan of local government units. The resolution added that the authority to operate is given to unconsolidated PUJ and UV units that are currently registered with the LTFRB and have a valid personal passenger accident insurance coverage. Transport Group Piston claims the LTFRB resolution as a victory, saying the strikes and protests against the consolidation and the PUV modernization program have forced the LTFRB and the Marcos Jr. regime to concede. This victory means operators still using traditional jeepneys in some routes could still renew their unit certificates of registration, according to Piston.
Bate po doon sa Board Resolution na 53 ay yung lahat ng maliliit na mga modern, yung maliliit sa mahal ba, sa mga bawat ruta. Halimbawa, yung Cubao Divisoria po ay meron tayong 150 na traditional jeepney, pero ang bumibiyahe po dyan ay sa 10 piraso. Yung po yung automatic na pwede sila mag-apply doon sa pwede silang payagan na makapag-renew dapat ng kanilang prangkisa at makapag-rehistro ng kanilang mga sasakyan.
The LTFRB is right in acting to ensure the adequate supply of public transport in all routes. Still, it's weird that we only learn about this now, more than 2 months after the resolution was signed. Meanwhile, it was perhaps inevitable. The LTO Viber hotline got inundated with messages and it crashed. All because motorists were too lazy to go to the LTO and claim their plastic card licenses.
The Land Transportation Office lost access to its Aksyon the Spot hotline number on Viber after it was inundated with requests for printing of driver's licenses. The LTO had earlier announced it was tapping the hotline for accepting requests for plastic printed driver's licenses, which would then be couriered to their owners. The initiative was targeted at motorists who were issued paper printed driver's licenses but had not gone back to the LTO district and satellite offices to get the plastic printed ones. All these motorists had to do was send the photograph or scanned copy of the paper printed driver's license through the LTO's hotline on Viber to process the request. There were so many requests that the hotline apparently crashed and the LTO lost access to it. The LTO apologized for the incident and has promised to restore its access to the hotline and eventually facilitate the printing of a plastic driver's license.
The program is well-meaning, but the LTO could have anticipated the flood of requests. As long as the paper-printed licenses are considered valid, people too busy or lazy to head to LTO offices won't bother to get the plastic-printed ones. Continuing, the MMDA has a new high-tech mobile command center to help it better manage traffic and ensure public safety, especially in special public occasions, emergencies, and times of crisis.
The Metropolitan Manila Development Authority debuted its new high-tech mobile command center during the third State of the Nation address of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. Donated by Globe Telecom, the MCC is equipped with state-of-the-art communication systems such as a portable command and dispatch system, multi-mode radio and remote CCTVs, and drone capabilities. It also features a surveillance system with 8 deployable cameras that can be monitored through a monitoring video wall and can be linked to the MMDA's enhanced MMDA Communications and Command Center. MMDA Acting Chairman Don Artes said the MCC can be used for monitoring significant events like the President's annual SONA and during times of disasters and road emergencies.
Makikita natin, pwedeng i-deploy siya kahit saan. At ito may internet na sarili. Meron din tayong mga radios for dispatch kung sakaling kailangan at mawala yung internet. So, yun po yung features nito. May command conference table para po kung kailangan mag-meeting kung may mga incidents ay pwede po dito.
The MMDA said the MCC can be used in coordination with the Philippine National Police to respond to emergency situations.
Some may now be wondering, was the MCC deployed during the recent floods that prompted authorities to declare a state of calamity in Metro Manila? And finally, SMC seems to have found a gold mine in tollways and is opening MRT3 operations and maintenance contracts to bid more advantageous than unsolicited proposals. Japanese companies may be hoping the DOTR will opt for the former.
Many Japanese private companies are interested in bidding for a contract to operate and maintain the Metro Rail Transit Line 3, according to Takema Sakamoto, Chief Representative in the Philippines of the Japan International Cooperation Agency. The build, lead, and transfer agreement with MRT3 operator Metro Rail Transit Corporation expires next year, and the Department of Transportation is looking to privatize its maintenance and operation, either through an auction or unsolicited proposals before the contract ends. In new reports, Sakamoto said JICA is considering providing budget support to DOTR so they can prepare enough budget or resources to create a very competitive environment for getting more competitive bids for the MRT3 contract. Meanwhile, the DOTR is evaluating the unsolicited proposal made by the Metro Pacific Investments Corporation to integrate their operations of MRT3 and LRT1. The DOTR is also working with the Asian Development Bank to develop a public-private partnership for the MRT3 project.
Projects involving Japanese companies have a good track record for being mostly advantageous to government and to the general public. So encouraging more Japanese participation in the auction of the MRT3 contract may not be a bad idea. Those are the latest news and developments in transportation and traffic management. Coming up next is Motoring Forum, brought to you by Suzuki Philippines. Operators of public utility jeepneys that have complied with the mandate to consolidate into cooperatives or corporations have been given 5 years to replace aging units with the so-called modern PUVs. Will the traditional jeepney disappear? Motoring Forum discusses this possibility.
The public utility jeepney has been the primary mode of mass transportation in cities and towns for decades. And for decades, the basic look of the jeepney has been the same. Aside from passengers sitting beside driver in the front seats, all others sit on benches running the length of the sides accessed from the opening in the back. All are powered by diesel engines, mostly second-hand ones that don't meet emission standards. In other words, smoke belchers. The government's Public Utility Vehicle Modernization Program seeks to change all that. Under the PUVMP, jeepneys fall under Class 2 PUVs with around 23 seating capacity with side-facing bench seats. While the Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board is the main government agency that will oversee the PUVMP, the Bureau of Philippine Standards of the Department of Trade and Industry sets and defines the size, safety features, and other requirements for different classes of PUVs. Specific dimensions for the interior allow for majority of Filipinos to stand straight in the middle aisle of Class 2 PUVs. The requirements also include or encourage the installation of such modern amenities as air conditioning, CCTVs, Wi-Fi. Also mandated are side doors for ingress and egress, no more wide-open back entry. Modern PUVs must also be powered by engines that comply with Euro 4 emission standards or battery-powered electric motors. The PUVMP seeks to phase out individual PUV franchises by mandating consolidation into cooperatives and corporations. The deadline for consolidation has passed and operators are now expected to begin to replace aging jeepneys with units that meet modern PUV standards. The government has set a 5-year timetable and expects that around 2030, only modern PUVs are plying routes. Even after the deadline for consolidation, many transport groups continue to oppose the PUVMP, citing the loss of livelihood for individual drivers and operators of jeepneys who can't afford modern PUVs. Many are also opposing the PUVMP, citing the loss of a cultural icon, colorful and uniquely decorated traditional jeepneys that has served commuters for decades. Some also cite the loss of livelihood for workers in the local manufacture of traditional jeepneys. Will the traditional jeepney disappear, or will it remain, even if with just the iconic look of the cultural icon? According to a Rappler News report, 33 models of Class 2 PUVs have been approved or accredited by government as of June 20, 2024. Approved Class 2 PUV brands and models. Most of the approved Class 2 PUV brand model or prototype eschewed the iconic look of traditional jeepneys. They look more like minibuses or vans, adding to the fears of some that the country is losing a cultural icon. The approved Class 2 PUVs cost an average of 2 million pesos plus, buttressing the argument of those opposing the PUVMP that they may be too expensive for most cooperatives as well as individual operators and drivers. 19 of those in the list are classified as locally made. However, locally assembled Class 2 PUVs need only to have 25% of local components to be classified as locally made. Also, the absence of pioneering brands and local jeepney manufacturing such as Sarao and Francisco Motors is particularly glaring. Many other makers of traditional jeepneys are reported to have closed shop amid government's push for modernization. Elmer Francisco Motors has recently rolled out a modern PUV prototype that carries the iconic look of traditional jeepneys with plans to use battery-powered electric powertrains as an option. However, the prototype has not yet gotten government approval. Earlier, China-made Class 2 vehicle featuring the iconic GP look also made the rounds of news reports. Those pushing the PUV modernization program, including transport groups that have taken advantage of the incentives and benefits offered by government, say commuters are now appreciating the comfort and convenience provided by modern PUVs already servicing various routes. Many commuters express some sadness over the possible disappearance of traditional jeepneys, but most are not voicing protests against the modernization program. Some are even angered by the transport strikes to protest modernization. Will the traditional jeepney finally disappear? Only time will tell. How short or long will be determined by whether government and transport authorities have the political will to push through with modernization.
Perhaps commuters will determine the fate of traditional jeepneys. Will they still prefer riding in aging jeepneys when air-conditioned PUVs are readily available and are as affordable? That's our Motoring Forum this week, courtesy of Suzuki Philippines.
Luxury meets practicality, and innovation is the standard. We present to you the epitome of automotive excellence. Elevate every journey with the new Isuzu Mu-X. It's more than just an SUV. It's your passport to luxury, innovation, and unforgettable experiences. The new Isuzu Mu-X. Take the lead.
Every day the same? Time to break through. Experience a new connection with elevated hybrid technology and safety capabilities for a next-level experience. Sporty yet elegant, it's the most advanced CR-V. Breakthrough every day. The all-new Honda CR-V.
There's a lot to learn about being smart and safe on the road. We young ones need to make ourselves smarter and safer about motoring. Learn more from our Young Street Smart segment with road safety reminders from Toyota Motor Philippines. Solid white center lines are meant to separate the movement of traffic on multi-lane roads. Kapag ikaw ay nasa daan na mayroong solid white center line, you're not supposed to overtake unless the way is clear and safe. Kung hindi naman, stay on your lane and wait until you can overtake to avoid accidents. We share the road with others every day. How to better share the road and help make motoring daily a happier experience is this week's Paing Choper.
Payong Choper lang kaibigan, ako si Daniel Villegas, isang kapwa New Choper. Iwasan po natin ang pagpatugtog ng sobrang lakas ng musika sa ating sakyan, lalo na habang ito'y tumatakbo sa daan.
Dapat nating malaman na ang pagpapatugtog ng loud music sa loob ng sasakyan, pampasahero man ito o pribado, ay di lamang nakakapwerhisyo. Ito rin ay delikado. Kapag tayo ay nagpapatugtog ng malakas, ito ay nagdudulot ng ingay at nakakaabala rin sa ibang tao. Ang atensyon natin ay nababaling sa musika at hindi sa pagmamaneho natin. At kung tayo ay distracted, hindi tayo alerto sa mga nangyayari sa ating kapaligiran. Kapag ito ang nangyari, di lamang ikaw ang madidisgrasya, pati na rin ang ibang motorista.
Kaya palaging tandaan, habang tayo ay nagmamaneho, lagi tayong alisto sa ating paligid. Ito po si Daniel Villegas, Payong Choper lang kaibigan mula sa isang kapwa New Choper.
I've been coming up hot for a minute. Everybody know the drop when I'm in it. Yeah, I go so yo. Everybody know I'm on it. You know when the click through. Then it's about to be a slow beat ride. I've been coming up hot for a minute.
Welcome back to Motoring Today. World of Motorsports is next.
In motorsports news, organizers of the 2024 Eneas Super Sprint has released the point standings after 3 rounds of the popular Grassroots Motorsports Series. Topping the point standings in the Street 1 category is Valerie Jill Roa with 30 points. Rich Young in the Street 2 category with 32 points. And Rand's Jeff De Los Reyes Street 3 with 40. In the Intermediate Street 1, it's Kim Son on top with 52. Rich Young leads the Intermediate Street 2 with 45. John Michael Lau Intermediate Street 3 with 50. On top of the Amateur Street Modified 1 category is Mark Paul Lucido with 50 points. Franklin Nang topped both the Amateur Street Modified 2 and 3 categories with 55. Kim Son leads the Intermediate Street Modified 1 category with 55. Glendale Dave Cuento, Intermediate Street Modified 2 with 55 and Intermediate Street Modified 3 with 60. Mark Paul Lucido topped the Amateur Super Street 1 category with 47. Marvin Jason Matira, the Amateur Super Street 2 with 43, as well as the Amateur Super Street 3 with 55. Mark Paul Lucido also topped the Intermediate Super Street 1 category with 44 points. Marvin Jason Matira is also on top of the Intermediate Super Street 2 category with 52, while Glendale Dave Cuento rules Intermediate Super Street 3 with 46. Glendale Dave Cuento also leads in both Prep A1 and A2 categories with 42 and 60 points respectively, while Julius Brian Tagarian rules Prep A3 with 35 points. Polo Bautista topped Prep B1 with 55 points. Ernie Moreno, Prep B2 with 48, and Inigo Anton, Prep B3 with 60. The trio were also back on top. In the Prep C categories, Polo Bautista in Prep C1 with 60 points, Ernie Moreno in Prep C2 with 52, and Inigo Anton in Prep C3 with a perfect 60 points. The same held true in Prep D categories, Bautista on top of D1, Moreno in D2, and Anton in D3. Ashley Jade Aquino scored a hat-trick of sorts, topping the point standings in the Ladies Class 1, Class 2, and Class 3 categories.
More on the world of motorsports here on Motoring Today. So now give you Race Weekend. Speed and precision, not necessarily in that order, are what competing in the General Petroleum Gymkhana should be all about. Check out the highlights of the General Petroleum Gymkhana 3rd practice held last July 12 at the Park Lakes and C5 in Quezon City.
Hello, I am John Frederick Agustin, and what I have here today is the Dongfang 14 Friday electric vehicle. So today I partnered with Dongfang Motor Philippines to showcase battery electric vehicles in motorsports. Since Gymkhana are having an EV class, I am the first and to pioneer the EV class with Dongfang. I've started with electric go-karts, now transitioning to electric car itself. There's still some similarities, but the weight difference is much bigger. Since I raced here last time with the combustion vehicle, the torque of this is instant, so I have to be a bit gentle with the throttle. However, the top speed here, I believe, if not mistaken, I am the one with the highest speeds here at the moment. I can reach almost like 90 to 95 kilometers in one of the back stretches. I can see a potential here in the Philippines with electric motorsports.
First time experience ko sa Gymkhana today, as I mentioned, pero the experience has been very good. The instructors that we have are very accommodating, lalo na sa mga first timers. They're really willing to teach kung ano yung kailangang improve and how to have fun and basically be safe while you're doing it.
Gymkhana is more on low-speed maneuvering, so it's mainly based on precision driving. That's why there's a lot more slaloms and slow-speed U-turns in Gymkhana.
thank you very much to Gymkhana Philippines for always having this event. I think this is happening every once a month. This is a very good opportunity for someone like me na wala masyadong time. And minsan lang makapag-participate sa motorsport. So yeah, very big thanks for having this event almost on a monthly basis.
I'd say keep it up. It's pretty fun. I'd probably join the next one.
The General Petroleum Gymkhana is among many grassroots motorsport events that make race weekend more exciting this year. Join us for more in the future editions. And last, this week's World of Motorsports. We'll be back after this short break. Our car of the week is next on Showcase, courtesy of Prudential Guarantee. The name Honda City may be a familiar name to us Filipinos, but it actually dates back to the early 80s. It was first seen on a Japan-only hatchback until the early 90s, until it was revived again to the sedan we know today. In this edition of Showcase, we take a look at the new Honda City 1.5 RS CVT hatchback.
A few years ago, the City nameplate found its way back to a hatchback body, and that's exactly what we have here today. Measuring 4,369mm long, it does share the same width, height, and wheelbase at 1,748mm, 1,488mm, and 2,600mm respectively. Ground clearance is rated at 134mm. With its short, truncated tail and low ride height, the City hatchback exudes its sporting character. Like before, the Honda City hatchback is only available in one variant, the 1.5 RS CVT. Gloss black highlights are featured throughout its body, while the RS badge is identified as a sporty model. Changes for the 2024 model year include a wider grille, a sharper front bumper, side skirts, and a more dynamic rear bumper. It then rides on gloss black 16-inch alloy wheels shod in 185/55 R16 tires. LED headlights are of course standard, as well as a smart entry system, power folding side mirrors, and a shark fin antenna on the top. Inside, drivers are greeted by a two-tone leather interior. Red highlights are seen on the seats, along with red contrast sticking on steering wheel, dashboard, and door panels. Again, Honda wants to highlight the sportier fun side of the City with the RS variant. It's all leather trims inside the RS City hatchback, from the seats, steering wheel, and door panels. A multi-function steering wheel adds convenience to the driver, allowing them to control the audio system without looking at the screen. That same steering wheel tilts and telescopes for the ideal driving position. Keeping passengers cool is an automatic climate control system. Rear air conditioning vents are also part of the standard features list. New for 2024 is a redesigned 4.2-inch TFT multi-information display featuring more options and higher resolution graphics. Moving to its infotainment system, it's housed in an 8-inch touchscreen that controls both entertainment and several vehicle setting adjustments. Wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto is standard. Sound is then channeled through a 6-speaker audio system. USB ports are present at the front and rear. Powering the Honda City is the familiar 1.5-liter iVTEC engine with dual overhead cams. It produces 121 PS and 145 Nm of torque. Thanks to its lighter body, the City RS hatchback offers peppy performance as it also offers the most horsepower in its class. Its continuously variable transmission can be shifted via the paddle shifters on the steering wheel. Under the chassis is a McPherson strut setup at the front and a torsion beam at the rear. This gives this hatchback a smooth ride while retaining a high degree of driving dynamics. But the most significant change of the 2024 Honda City hatchback is the addition of Honda Sensing. Honda Sensing is an advanced driver assist package that helps prevent accidents from happening in the first place. It includes collision mitigation braking system, adaptive cruise control, lane keeping assist system, lead car departure notification, auto high beam, and road departure mitigation with lane departure warning. The 2024 Honda City Hatchback RS 1.5 CVT represents a subtle evolution over its predecessor, but it's now made more stylish inside and out, and more importantly, safer than ever. If you're interested in one, it retails at 1,189,000 pesos.
Honda lists the City Hatchback 1.5 RS CVT with Honda Sensing at 1.189 million pesos. That should make the City RS all the more value for money.
If you're having problems sa cars, if there's any problems, especially with the paint, if you wanted to have the paint corrected, just let us know, just give us a call, drop by our shop so we could assess, para we could show you and give you yung gagawin natin sa cars nyo, especially for the paint job. So we could detail the car and probably put ceramic coating on it. Our shop also offers ceramic coating, interior, exterior, engine, and glass detailing. We also offer premium car wash. We also do paint job, certain panels na kailangan natin i-repaint. So we also do that. We also do a wash over paint also for cars. So,
Welcome back to Motoring Today. The auto industry takes center stage.
The newly launched hybrid variants of the Tucson and the Santa Fe attracted a lot of people at the most recent stop of the Hyundai Mobility Experience held at the Alabang Town Center in Muntinlupa. Hyundai Motor Philippines is excited by the response of people to the Santa Fe and the Tucson.
Right now, there's a long line for the new Hyundai Santa Fe, and we believe that it will further excite the market for this category. For the Tucson, it has always been an iconic nameplate, and with its new facelifted version, we're confident that it will rejuvenate the excitement of the market towards the Tucson.
Hyundai brought in the hybrid variants of the Santa Fe and the Tucson long after rolling out the full electric Ioniq 6 and Ioniq 5.
Hyundai always listens to the demand and the wants of the market, given that there are a lot of people looking for it and asking for it. Of course, we are here to deliver. Hyundai is always advanced when it comes to its technology to preserve the environment. So currently, we already have the EVs through our Ioniq line, and it's just fitting that we also introduce our HEV technology. Hyundai's technology goes far as actually hydrogen. So we're slowly introducing all the eco-friendly products into the market.
What's new with the Honda City Hatchback? Members of media got to find out firsthand on a one-day out-of-town road trip.
Last June 14th, we officially launched the new City Hatchback to the Philippine market. And today, we are here at the Honda Cruise Manila Bay with our media friends for starting our media test drive of the new City Hatchback and the other models with the Honda Sensing. The objective of this event is to test the capability of the new City Hatchback and also the features of the Honda Sensing. We are conducting the test drive from here, Manila Bay, to Angeles Clark, and coming back to the Metro Manila in one day.
Other Honda models were also available for the Ride and Drive event.
During the test drive, we are showcasing the latest upgrade of the new City Hatchback, especially the bus style and the spacious interior, and also as well as the newly equipped Honda Sensing, which is the advanced suite of the safety features. And also we are highlighting the other models with the Honda Sensing.
Honda also took advantage of the one-day road trip to visit Honda dealerships along the way.
We also happy to showcase the top-notch quality of the facility and the services provided at those dealerships. I'm so happy to invite the customer to come and visit and experience our new city hatchback and of course the other models at our 38 dealership in the nationwide.
Car enthusiasts got to travel back in time to the 90s at the sprawling parking area of Ayala Mall, Manila Bay. The 2024 year opener meet of the Legends of 90s Car Club meet together the dream rides of the 90s. Whether modified or stock, fully loaded with accessories from the 90s, the cars were all in mint car show condition. The Legends of the 90s Car Meet is a brainchild of friends who learned to love cars during the 90s.
Way back 2015, this started out as a meet among friends who are very passionate about 90s cars. And I guess parang we were toying around with a wish list of ano ba yung gusto namin makita in a meet, like what cars haven't we seen yet. That started out that way, and then yun, it snowballed into yan, what you see now.
We organized this curating system where we really handpick, as in one by one namin pag nag-submit kayo sa form namin once we open. We really go through everything and make sure that all the cars are cream of the crop, na talagang all properly built with a certain theme or a certain style that we're really after, whether it's something na medyo modern or something that harks back to the 90s era na setup. We pretty much have everything here, no? So Legends of the 90s has turned into this really giant melting pot of everything that is good about the 90s.
Mostly, ang ginano lang naman is prepare nila maayos yung kotse, presentable, like mag-effort din sila para pag nag-apply sila ng opening ng Legends, curate namin mabuti kung sino yung gustong makakapasok dito. And syempre, sa ugali, titignan din namin kung okay siya.
The good news nowadays, medyo alam na ng mga tao ano yung mga proper etiquette, conduct para sa mga meets. So now medyo madali ng kontrolin in a way. Hindi kagaya before na talagang malala. And prior naman to the event, alam may reputation na tayo, na stricto tayo, so medyo madali i-enforce.
And that's the week that was in motoring. Thank you for joining us. Also, don't forget to check us out on social media.
Until next week here on Motoring Today, now on its 38th year of continuing service to the general motoring public with a lifelong commitment to promote road safety. In honor of our dad, Butch Gamboa, I'm Wee Gamboa.
And I'm Tid Gamboa. Happy motoring.